reaching speeds well over 130 some miles an hour. And I'm like telling this dude, I said, dude, you need to slow down. He's like, I'm going to tell you what, God is real. And everybody here listening, anybody understands life, and everybody wondered if God is real or not, well, you're going to hear something that is going to blow your mind because, you know,
Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for joining us again on the Flobella podcast. I am Chelsea.
And I'm Jeff.
And today we're here with Jonathan, who's been through a very intense accident, and we are so happy that he is still here with us. But I cannot wait for you guys to hear his story.
okay.
Right, Jonathan?
Well, I don't know where to start. I mean, from when I was young, um, let's just say my favorite group, Christian group, is the Rebel Redeemed 316. If you haven't heard of it, please look it up. I mean, it's the words and the lyrics, a lot of songs. Just it it defies me. See, I was a rebel whenever I was young. My mother always told me not to do it, and I did it because I didn't think that no one had to tell me what to do. I knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? I was in charge of my life. Yeah, so much in charge. Um, I was young. She told me not to go up to school play football. If anybody ever heard of smear the, you know, and well, I got smeared, and I broke my left arm, and she came home. I was already at school. I went up a half hour before she come back, and I already went up before she told me. She said, "Wait till she got home to go up." And but of course, I defied. I rebelled and went up with my friends to play football. Thought I was gonna miss something in a half hour, but got up there, and the only thing I could have missed was a broken arm. I should have stayed home. But that was the first time. I mean, there was a lot of times that I defied her. And Roseanne Bryner's her name, and I am 100% just thankful that I have a mother so loving and very smart because she knew, like, I'm not saying she was like, I don't know, like, she could tell the future, but man, she told me and it just happened. I don't know, she felt it in the spirit or anything like that. And I don't want to push anything on anybody about God or anything like that because I'm going to tell you what, God is real. And everybody here listening, anybody understands life, and everybody wondered if God is real or not, well, you're going to hear something that is going to blow your mind. Because you know what? My mother, I was first born, I was like getting dedicated to the Lord. The preacher's wife came, put her hands on me, and said a prayer over me, and she said, "Oh, Roseanne, your son, Roseanne Bryner, she goes, your son is going to do a great work for the Lord." And my mother said, "Wow, not thinking that it was coming from God 100%, and as I was growing up, she was a devout Christian, and the podcast about my mother too. I'm talking all about my mother
No,
because
excited to tell the story.
and one time when I was like 16, another time that I rebelled, I didn't heed to her advice, and she told me to don't hang out with riffraff, and I always hung out with bad kids and got me in trouble. I mean, I've done jail time, stuff like that, and it's all by my own choice. But what she told me not to go hanging out with these boys, but I went out with them, and we were drinking with some girls. Oh, it was the time of our life, and there was this creek down below us, and it was usually deep, about 10 feet deep. And we used to jump off it when we were, summer times, and always swam in it and not thinking, not realizing they were draining the creek. And as they drained it, it got very shallow, like 5, 6 feet of water. And I got out and I was wanting to press these females. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I get up on the bridge and I'm like, yeah, watch this, jump off, go all the way down into the water and all the way into my kneecaps, nothing but mud stuck in there underwater. So it took me a very long time. I had to reach down between the space of the mud in my leg and go all the way down, find my shoelaces, and gradually find how to untie them in base dark because we did it dark. And I finally got my my boots unlated, laced, and as I'm trying to wiggle out, I'm pushing in the mud, and I don't have no structure, no solid foundation to pull me out. I was sinking in the mud, but finally I wiggled enough to get one boot out. Guess what? Now I got to go for the other boot because it's stuck. So I go and I'm trying to put my foot down to get my other foot out. I'm stinking in there with my foot. So I'm like, no, I can't do that. I reached down and finally got down. It took a long time. And I finally just got it untied and wiggled it out and got out. And then I had to swim up, got out, and I was vomiting in front of girls. I was so cool because I didn't really listen to my mother. But I'll tell you what, then there was, let's see, I OD'd on heroin. It was a while ago. But there was a one time, again, when I was of age, like 20 some years old, my mother had a bad feeling, a bad premonition. This is the story. This is what's going to enlighten God, his existence. She felt that something bad was going to. See, there's five of us. There's four girls, one boy. I was the only boy. I was the bad one, and she had a bad premonition that something bad was going to happen to one of her children. Well, it was me, of course, and it was God telling her that some get to be ready. She was going to face something, and she called all of her children, talked to everyone, but I was the last one getting there 11, 12 at night. It's cool, whatever. And so I got there. She's begging and pleading me to quit drugs. So I was on cocaine, bad alcohol. I was living out of dumpsters. It was sad. I mean, I would no, I'm not going to really emphasize how bad I was. It would convict me, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but let's just say that I didn't heed to her advice the night before the accident. She told me something bad's going to happen to you, Jonathan, or one of the kids. I don't know who it is. And I remember her saying that to me, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I just kind of said, oh, it's cool. Nothing's going to happen. To appease her. Well, I'm walking up to my pickup truck. She's like out there crying. I'm like, look, I'm just like, Mom, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And she knew it was probably going to be me. And so I got my pickup and my best friend, who's also in that accident with me. We went down. There was a stop sign down to, I guess, the end of our road. And I said, she's crazy. Says, don't listen to her. She don't know what she's talking about. Yeah, okay. Well, we decided to go to a party the next night. We went to it's so ironic. It was the nice next night. It was the worst and best night of my life, to be honest with you. Um, me and my friend, we went to a party. It was a lot of drugs, a lot of cocaine. We were doing, I mean, blow after blow. We were just doing so much lines of coke, and so I was headed out to my pickup truck, me and Jack, and she the guy who we rode with who was in that wreck, he said, you're too drunk to drive, which I was very drunk, but I would have drove like a turtle going home. But he said, jump in the car with me. He had a brand new Chevy Cobalt. And so he said, hey, come on, jump in. So he was younger than I was, and both of us. And he says, come on, man, let's go, let's go. Let's go get more drugs or whatever. I'm like, yeah, whatever, And, so we're reaching speeds well over 130 some miles an hour. And I'm like telling this dude, I said, dude, you need to slow down. He's laughing. And so I reached up and grabbed my seatbelt. I mean, we were like literally felt like we were flying. That's how fast we were going. And I grabbed my seatbelt, put it down, looked up, and another car come around the corner. It was just like a dead man's corner, really hard corner. Come around, and we almost hit him head on so fast. You heard him swerved over. As we swerved over, our sides of our tires went off the berm of the road, which caused us to go speed, like spinning up, and we hit probably about another 50, 60 yards. We hit a T-boned a pine tree on my side of the car. And as we T-boned it, the metal of the car completely lacerated gutted me, basically ripped open my stomach, and all my intestines went all through the car. My arm, if you can see,
Oh,
right
yeah.
is right here, and this
Uh-huh.
is my stomach. And but that's where, I mean, I lost a lot of blood, lost 9 pints of blood, had 2 broken ribs, a collapsed lung, a punctured lung. I was in a coma for a month and a half, having to learn how to walk, learn how to talk, do everything over. I've gone through 70 some surgeries, and I'm still not right in the head. I still forget a lot of things, lose a lot of jobs. But now I put all my trust in God, and I said, you know what, God, I'm trying to be the person I used to be because I know I can't do it. I'm gonna have to rely on you now. I'm gonna start doing the work for you, God. I'm gonna do everything for you. So I'm always in the Bible. I'm always studying, um, trying to provide for my family, and that's what I want to do for my family is provide for them. And even if I can't hold a job down, I know God can hold my life down. I know I can put my trust into God. And like I said, I went through all them surgeries, and on my 28th surgery is the best day of my life. And I flatlined previous, it was like 13 times. And that's why the, I guess the doctor said to my parents and me that this was a very serious surgery, that there was a big chance that he may not pull through. And he said, Mom, I'm just wanting to let you know we have to do this to get my organs all in a proper place. And see, my voice used to be a lot deeper and stuff like that, but I'm alive. I had a tracheotomy, but they were basically had to cut it all into my I guess there's a sac that grows over your organs to protect them when you're injured.
Mhm.
Your body's remarkable. It, can heal itself, a lot of things. And they had to cut it all away, and they had to remove a lot of organs to, like I said, the proper place. And they had to cut 6 feet of my intestines out. I almost had to have a colostomy bag. Praise God, I didn't have to have that. But there was, like I said, multiple times of flatlining. But on my 28th surgery, I was going into the prep room, and all my family was there, and all my sisters was there, and my dad, my mom, and the intermediate family, and I'm saying goodbye to them. They're all hugging me. Oh, it's gonna be all right. They got tears in their eyes. I'm not stupid, so I'm like, my heart monitors are starting to go off. So I'm laid back down to the bed, and they're starting to wheel me out. And I look back into the prep room where my family was, and they're all hugging each other, crying. I'm like, this is not encouraging. They just told me I'm going to be all right, but they're all crying like it was my funeral. Well, they wheeled me out of there, and I'm like, oh God, now my alarms are really going off. And they wheeled me into this. I can remember this to this day. It was like 19 years ago, but it's like yesterday. And they wheeled me into the surgery room. There was like 20, 30 doctors, nurses, anesthesiologists, everybody just laughing and hee-hawing about what they did the night before, like typical employees, talking about, their day they had yesterday or something, I don't know. But here I am. My alarms are going off. My alarms are you can hear beeping so loud. I mean, like it was going beep, 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 beep. And the anesthesiologist said, made an announcement to all the people, said, okay, guys, like a classroom with the students, you got to quiet down so we can get this patient sedated. And it took them a long time. It took me a while, 40 some minutes to get me calmed down because, this is this could be my last view here on earth, and
Yeah,
everybody's, you know what I
that'd be
mean? And
scary.
they, they all calmed down. And it took a while, like I said. They finally injected me with the serum. This is what changed my life, and this is why I'm alive to tell everybody listening that Jesus Christ is real. And anybody who don't believe in Jesus Christ, you're going to find out whether you like it or not. I'm just telling you,
Mhm.
it's sad, but if everybody can just get along as Christians should and not fight and love each other. Love is the first commandment of the Bible. It's not denomination. Denomination's a man's denomination. denomination is shouldn't even be. It should be in the Bible. If you go by the Bible and you read that Bible and you live by the Bible, how can it be unless you read some other writing on the Bible and it takes you a different way? But I'm telling you, if you believe into the Bible and you read that Bible, don't believe in denomination. Don't leave that as your stronghold to get you into heaven. Believe in that Bible to get you to heaven. But I'm telling you what, when they finally got me in, they injected the serum. I was going out, and as I was going out, I didn't think about them cutting me open because they had to cut me all the way down from a chest bone all the way down to my bottom of my navel. And I didn't think about that. I was thinking about, I was, I was starting to stare. I was having a vision. Didn't even, I thought it was like really life, because, but everything was so 3D, like super, like it's indescribable. Like I was staring at this mountain. It was a beautiful mountain. And I was just like, and I felt like I was just in real life, I was like, I gotta get over this. And I'm starting to walk towards it and I just stop. And just like the spirit of Jesus come over me to stop. And Jesus was there. So ironic. He picked me up, and anybody's going through hard times and don't believe that this is their, if they believe that, oh, this will never, I'll never get through this or whatever like that, the report could be so negative and you could just be like, oh man, I'm not going to make it through. Jesus, oh, everybody, I'm gonna pray this false God and he's not real. He is real. Let me tell you what, because I would never have made it if it weren't for Jesus Christ. But he's starting to carry me up to start to go up this mountain. And I remember for it's like 11 or 12 hour surgery, we got clear to the top of the mountain. I mean, and we were very high up. And I kept looking. I look at his face, and it's true. Jesus ain't gonna let you see his face till you're in heaven, I believe. But when that time is, but I couldn't see his face. But when I looked at his face. It was such a light, like a heavenly, inviting light. I was just like in awe, like I'm getting cold chills talking about. I'm sorry, I'm getting spiritual right now, but it's just I just want to praise God. I want to praise God just for everything that He's done for me in life. But
Yeah.
as we're getting down, I'm looking down. We're on these paths so small. I'm looking down. We were so high, and I didn't even think about falling. But we were so high, like little paths, like goats go on. And I can remember for detail till we got down to the foot of the mountain, he put me down and he sat me down. And I'm thinking I'm gonna get to speak to him. As soon as he put me down, my eyes woke up and I was in the recovery room. My mother was there because she knew I was waking up. And she said, "Oh, Jonathan, you're awake." And I said, I couldn't talk. I had an NG tube, like a big tube, all the way down my throat and my intestines for almost 9 days, no food or water, only by vein, by injection. And and I told my mother, I said, "Ma, I saw God in a piece of paper and pen." And she started praising God and everything like that. But that's where I'm at with my life. God is real, and anybody that doesn't believe in Jesus Christ, I hate to say it because it says not in the Bible to call anybody a fool. But if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you will find out you are a fool. So that is my testimony. And anybody that's got any problems or going through any hard tribulations, just to count on God, always count on God.
Your story is definitely seriously a miracle. Like it reminds me so much when they told me they're like, "Hey, medically, just know you have no reason why you should be alive." And
Right.
after you go through like what you've gone through, oh
Mhm.
man,
See this, I'm sorry, this my left arm, they almost cut it off because there was the blood vessels, everything's ripped out. My hand, when I got out, was ice cold. And it was even during spring or summer. It was still very cold because there was no warmth and no blood or anything like that. Hey, kitty, kitty, yeah. But he's wanting to be on show. But
I know.
I
but by the grace of God and from what I've been through, fasting, praying, my hands back to warm, and there was no blood vessels in there, as warm as can be, just like the other hand now.
what?
So. There's no way that I will ever not believe in Jesus Christ. And it's a scary thing if you don't. Because when I was dying, I wasn't heaven bound. I was hell bound. When I was dying, I felt like had a billion pounds of pressure pushing me down. And I knew what was bad. Something bad was awaiting me. And it felt like I was lost. But the pertinent things that I heard, I could hear the preachers come in and give me my last rites. I could hear my mama tell me, "I'm right here, Jonathan, hold my hand," stuff like that. But I couldn't feel nothing. But I could hear everything. And like the important things that stuck with me. And I even heard my son tell me that, "Hey, Daddy, wake up! We're gonna go ride in your truck," because I used to take him. He loved riding in trucks and stuff like that. And that's what life is about: living for your kids and taking good care of them, and just teach them about God, and teach them to stay away from drugs and alcohol, because that's the worst thing in life, is to get hooked on something and be dependent on something that controls your life, and that is a controlling situation, a controlling substance that will be your downfall, that take you literally to hell. You gotta straighten up your life, live the righteous life, and few walk that righteous life. But there is that ones that do make it will be in heaven, and will have a mansion built for you. Understand, God is real. That's why I'm trying to tell everybody. God is real. He is so real. So,
Oh, big time. I feel like all three of us wouldn't be here without God, for
mm,
sure. And thinking about what I just think of what the two of you guys have been through and how like just different you'd look at life after experiencing something like that. Because it's like your life just flashed before your eyes. You almost had like your own version of a funeral, hearing everybody, praying over you and
yeah.
all this stuff. So to come, like, what's your everyday life look like now? Like the way you think, the way you go about things. Like, how has it changed your perspective?
Believe it or not, like, it's changed me dramatically. I used to be, that's in the past. I don't like to talk about it because it brings up urges. But now that I know what I know, as you see, I'm always at my desk studying. I'm a nerd when it comes to God. I love to learn everything about God. It took me almost, well, the rec's been almost 18, 19 years. I've been in the New Testament for at least 10 years off and on. It's taken me that long because I got a commentary. I go into depth because I know everything in that Bible. If I read King James Version. Everybody has different versions of the Bible, and somehow they twist it up a little bit. But you know what? The truth's in the Bible, most of the Bibles. So I'm not going to downfall on the other religions, but the Jesus Christ is the way to go. I will tell you that. So if you believe in him and the Holy Spirit, all three, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost is all three. You believe in them, and um, you'll have a good life. It's hard being good all the time, but you know
Yes.
what?
Yeah,
But yeah, you guys are
it
nodding
is.
your heads like,
Yeah,
yeah,
closest you are to God, I feel like the more you get tested, the more
yeah.
seasons you get put through. And I think, luckily, well, with what you went through too, it probably makes you a lot stronger and a lot more resilient. Like knowing in your mind you got through like 70 plus surgeries. I mean, I would feel like you couldn't be afraid of anything, you know? Like,
Oh, I'm afraid of everything, believe it or not.
yeah,
I don't. Hey, no, I'm not. I'm smart. I'm smarter now. Like I kind of. I'm not. I don't say I'm not. I'm afraid of everything. I'm just saying if I'm faced against anything and it's not my doing, I know that I can call on Jesus.
yeah.
Now, if I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where there's a chance that I'm gonna lose my life or overdose. I even overdosed, like I said, on heroin. Like I know all about losing your life, and the chances of not coming back is so close. And for me to, I probably flatlined 13 times in that car wreck. One time when I OD'd, uh, that time when I fell in that creek, it was underwater for a considerable amount of time. For me to get out and still be able to breathe, I was under there for a long time. It felt, I don't even know, but it felt like a eternity. It was so long, and I was blue. I mean, I was so, and it was embarrassing because I was trying to show off, and
Yeah.
they, I'm throwing up in front of this girl that, we never talked again, but
Yeah. You're like, hey, look at what I can do. Oh shoot, I
yeah,
got stuck.
look, I'm a fish. I'm
Yeah.
a fish that can't breathe underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. How long ago was your last surgery from that car accident?
That's crazy. My surgery is still going on, but my last surgery, I just had I have two more surgeries coming. Um, One from my cervical. I still need on my cervical, and it's kind of like a tummy tuck. So it's the next one is the tummy tuck. So, but I'll take a tummy tuck because my wife's jealous over me. I said it's kind of cosmetic. She goes, Jonathan, I know it is. Like rubbing it in.
You're like, I deserve it and I earned it though.
You're
Yeah.
darn right. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
darn
you
right.
did.
Seriously.